If there's a pecking order, this lady usually comes out on top. But what happens when the Queen of England meets the King of the Jungle? She was there with the Duke of Edinburgh to open the Land of the Lions, a new enclosure at London Zoo. But from these pics, it looks as if the lions were just as interested in her as she was in them. It makes me nervous just looking at it.
She seemed really interested in lions. It's really interesting to see that as she was giving the opening speeches and listening to people giving their speeches, she seemed more interested in seeing the lions behind her, like the rest of us.
And it's not the first time she's been to see them. In fact, she was presented with a photograph of herself visiting the existing enclosure in 1976, to which she remarked that she'd changed quite a bit.
A bit different.
But if the Queen looks different, the enclosure's changed beyond all recognition. And it's important for them to have gotten it right. There are only 500 Asiatic lions left in the wild, and while this new enclosure echoes their Indian habitat, with over 2.5 kilometres of space, it's much, much bigger than the old one.
So we provide areas that are right in the sun, warmed areas, high lookouts for them so they can see a long distance, areas that we can provide enrichment, which is how we can make sure that we provide for their behavioural needs, so they can act out smelling and scent, some of their hunting abilities, different ways in which they can feed.
And they certainly seem to be settling in well. So if this were a home makeover show, this would be the bit where they do the big reveal. And even though the lions have been in here for a little while now, you do get the sense that they're checking it all out. Tell you what though, even with all of this, they're definitely still the star of the show. Quite right too. They might have VIP visitors, but around here, these guys are royalty. Ruth Liptrot, 5 News.